how do,
Yeah, I need to push it in.
to talk? What about this
I
one?
mean, I can speak, but nobody will hear you.
Donna, how does the microphone work?
You just talk into it. You don't have to
There's
touch.
no-
They have to touch theirs. But so a lot of times I keep it up because you do it when you're until it's time.
Roll call, how far do I have to lean into it? Like, is that good?
Just yeah, I'll let you know if it's not bad. All right, whatever. So we might want to call.
Yes.
I'm gonna probably circle, but I think we should. Okay. Let's try.
Yes, sir. Hold on, hold on. Good evening, everyone. It's November 16th, 2023. This is the November meeting of the School Board of Directors for Council Rock School District. Dr. Sanko, please.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon. Winston Wong, would you please lead us in the pledge?
Madam Secretary, can I have a roll call, please?
Edward Tate,
Present.
Michael Thorwart,
Here.
Mary Ann McKay,
Here.
Joseph Hidalgo,
Here.
Ed Salomon,
Here.
Mike Roosevelt,
Here.
Bob Hickey,
Here.
Yoda Pally,
Present.
Stephen Nomas.
Here.
Thank you, ma'am. From there, we'll go down to letter E, the Council Rock South Student Advisory Board. Mr. Raddick is still doing chairs. Oh, good evening, Buff. How are you?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for having us. At this time, I'd like to introduce our SAB liaison, 11th grader Jamie Gockman.
Good evening. Thank you for inviting us to join you tonight. Members of the Council Rock South Student Advisory Board are here to update you and the community on various events and happenings at Council Rock South High School. Presenting this event are MBIT Rep Ava Warziniak, Isabella Thomas, 12th grade rep, 11th grade rep Stephen Belder, 10th grade rep Artur Kiss, and 9th grade rep Daniel Thomas.
Hello, my name is Ava Warziniak. I'm a senior at Council Rock South High School. I'm also a level 200 student in the cosmetology program at Middlebucks Institute of Technology. MBIT is hosting its annual open house for middle school and high school students on Wednesday, December 6th, 6 to 8 p.m. There will be 2 informational sessions for our potential students and parents, one at 6 p.m. and the second at 7 p.m. You can also explore our campus and programs with an interactive map. Prospective students are also invited to sign up to shadow a program where they can spend half the day in a program that is interesting to them. Students will be able to apply for the 2024 and 2025 school year that evening. Visit www.mbit.org for more information on the open house event. We hope to see you there. 36 MBIT students will have the opportunity to travel to Pennsylvania's District 2 Skills USA Fall Leadership Conference held at the Kalahari Resort in the Poconos. Students will be able to participate in leadership, skill building, teamwork, and problem solving. The conference encourages the district unity and school spirit. And it's that time of the year again. Automotive technology and collision repair technology programs students will be raising money for the month of November to help the auto dealers Caring for Kids Foundation drive away the cold by purchasing coats for underprivileged kids in the Delaware Valley. The Labor and Industry approved 5 trade pre-apprenticeship programs for the Bucks County Career and Technical Center students. On Tuesday, November 28th, the Bucks County Pre-Apprenticeship Program will be holding information sessions. For more information about these sessions, please visit our website. Thank you for your time and the opportunity to keep you informed about what is happening at Middlebucks Institute of Technology.
Good evening, School Board. I'm Isabella Thomas, the 12th grade representative, and I'll be informing you about the upcoming events in our 2023 to 2024 school year. As the senior representative, I'm inclined to firstly talk about our upcoming senior trip. Our Disney senior trip is planned for April 9th to the 13th. During our time there, we'll be visiting Disney and Universal. I am speaking for the entire senior class when I say we are all very excited. On October 21st, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., South held our Fall Festival. This event was extremely successful and supported over 40 clubs and outside vendors, and also 20 trunk-or-treat cars. On November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Council Rock South's Golden Wings put on a rendition of Chicago. It was a great success and a recent favorite production, with the beautifully designed sets and hard-working cast members. On November 20th and the 21st, school will be functioning as a regular day. However, on the 22nd, 23rd, and the 24th, all schools will be closed for Thanksgiving break. Our next PLC day is Monday, December 11th. A friendly reminder that bus transportation runs as normal that day. However, the bell for first period is at 8:18 a.m., so students with their own transportation should arrive accordingly. Thank you for listening and have a great night.
Good Good evening, Dr. Senko, the school board of directors, and all of those people listening at home. My name is Stephen Belder, and I'm the Student Advisory Board's representative for the junior class. To begin today's report, I'm going to speak about South athletics in the fall season. I do not want to underemphasize the gravity of our successes. Here we go. The girls' tennis team had an amazing season. They went 18-0, becoming the SOL Patriot Division champions. With this winning record, they were seeded first for the District 1 playoffs, where they also went undefeated to win the District 1 championship title, qualifying them for a trip to PIAA state tournament. The team continued their winning streak to become the first girls' tennis team in Council Rock South's history to win a state championship. Our girls' volleyball team finished their season with an overall record of 19-4, winning the SOL National Conference Championship title for the second year in a row. Varsity competed in their first ever District 1 finals game, finishing second overall, sending them to the PIAA state tournament for the first time since 2005. 6 players received SOL All-League honors, and JV finished with a winning season of 11-7. The girls' soccer team finished the season placing third in the SOL Patriot Division and earned the 21st seed in the District 1 tournament. The team rattled off 3 straight road wins, upsetting the 12th, 5th, and 4th ranked teams to earn a 4th seed berth in the District 1 semifinals and a trip to the PIAA state tournament. The team made their first state playoff appearance since 2019 and were led by 7 girls who earned SOL All-League honors. The football team had an impressive year all around. Varsity finished the season at 7-4 with a playoff loss at Downingtown West. The season was highlighted by big wins at Neshaminy and Quakertown. The JV program took a huge leap forward, finishing the season at 5-3 with back-to-back wins over Bensalem and Council Rock North. The freshmen went undefeated for the second year in a row with big wins over Central Bucks South, Central Bucks West, Neshaminy, Pennsbury, and Father Judge. The boys cross-country team made huge strides this season. The team finished second in the Patriot Division, up from 5th last year, 7th in all of PIAA District 1, and was consistently ranked in the top 20 of all teams in Pennsylvania. The team had 6 runners receiving SOL All-League honors, with 2 runners qualifying for the PIAA state championship. The Council Rock South girls cross-country team had a stellar season, going 5-0, earning their second SOL championship title. South's boys soccer finished the season 11-5-2, placing them second in the SOL Patriot Division. They made the District 1 playoffs, losing to Boyertown in the opening round. And finally, the golf team had 2 players qualifying for the PIAA District 1 championship, and the team finished third in the Patriot Conference. It is quite incredible to see our Golden Hawks bringing home so many trophies, titles, and impressive victories. After celebrating, many athletes have begun training for the winter season, and we look forward to seeing what they can accomplish. Away from the fields and within our great walls, this past Saturday, we had our annual winter dance, the South Soiree. Students were able to enjoy a night of fun-filled activities, great music, and delicious catering. The student council for the junior class worked tirelessly to set up this event, and like always, it was a huge success. In addition to the winter ball, the junior class's student council has a number of fundraisers planned for the new year. We also have our sights set on planning for our junior prom in the spring. Now, in an impressive adjustment from years past, all forms of student government, from our student executive board to the student councils and our advisory board here, have been meeting regularly and combining resources to put students first always. Our biggest focus has been to increase student involvement, especially in school spirit activities. We want our peers to be proud of being Golden Hawks. That's all on athletics and student government. Thank you very much for your time this evening.
Good evening, school board members. I'm Artur Kiss, and I am the 10th grade representative for Council Rock South's Student Advisory Board. During the past few weeks, the class of 2026 has been hard at work hosting several fundraisers throughout the school year. The funds raised from these fundraisers will go towards coordinating future events like next year's winter ball and the junior and senior prom. This year, Council Rock South's Amateur Radio Club has already kicked off with several events these past few weeks. During October, our radio club participated in the ARRL School Club Roundup Contest, where we made contacts with many countries, including Spain, Germany, West Africa, Mexico, and many more. Last week, our club participated in a fox hunt, where students with receivers tried to locate a transmitter. Our club members had a lot of fun participating in the event, and our radio club has many more events planned throughout the school year. For more information, please visit our website at crsarc.org. Last but not least, NASA Hunch has started up again this year and is in full force with developing the next generation of projects. This year, we have 7 teams working on designing and prototyping different projects for the upcoming Artemis Moon program. The projects are geared towards living on the moon sustainably and include things like the VR lunar habitat and the bamboo greenhouse, to mention some. Each team will be working hard throughout this year in preparation for their presentation in February, and the winning teams will have an opportunity to go down to Houston, Texas to present their final project in front of NASA engineers and scientists. We look forward to their upcoming success and wish them the best of luck with their projects. That is it for me for today. Thank you for listening and have a wonderful night.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Danny Thomas, the 9th grade representative, and I'll be informing you about upcoming events in our 2023 to 2024 school year. There's an upcoming winter concert planned for December 13th. This will be the combined performance of South's choir and orchestra, so it will be a sight to see our talented musicians performing for us. I would also like to report that the 9th grade class student council has been working diligently with the other 3 classes on many various fundraisers to have a great year. These funds will help with creating new and fun events for us in the future. During the month of November, Council Rock South held a Red Cross blood drive. We had 89 donors sign up and 80 come to their appointments, and 60 were successful donors. Each donation can save up to 3 lives, so 180 lives were potentially saved by students. Also, 40 new donors signed up to donate blood for the Red Cross as well. Thank you and have a good night.
Buff, anybody else?
It'll do it for us unless you want me to talk for a little bit.
No.
Coming back up
Depends on the topic, I guess, right?
with our commended scholars, but we're really excited to have them.
Yeah, we'll get right to them, too.
Yeah, okay.
You need to know how many days till the trip. Disney. How many days to the Disney trip? Yeah. Next month. It's down to days at this point. Yeah. No matter if it's 365 or 10. Congratulations, guys. Well, best of luck to all of you. From there, we'll move to letter F, the superintendent report. Dr. Senko, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you, Mr. Solomon, school board members, community members, students and staff here with us tonight, and those tuning in on the Council Rock YouTube channel. I'd like to start by saying there's an extra person and face up here tonight. I'd like to introduce you to Alicia Rogers. She is one of our team members. She's up here tonight working closely with Donna Heverly to learn a little bit about board secretary work. Welcome, Alicia. Thank you to Mr. Raddick and the Council Rock South Student Advisory Board for their report, and also thank you to Mr. Rudat, Mr. Slutter, and the Council Rock Brass Ensemble for their patriotic tribute. November is a month typically that focuses on gratitude, and in Council Rock, we have much to be grateful for. Our students continue to make academic gains in the second marking period, and we recently honored local veterans for their sacrifice for the community and our nation. And earlier this week, we recognized the support professionals who are one of the key pillars of Council Rock's success. It is also the time of year when we pause to give thanks for the simple abundance that surrounds us in our homes, our families, and especially in our community. We will be thanking many people tonight for the gifts they share with us and the various ways they impact our district and our students. These many themes of gratitude, when taken together, remind us how fortunate we are to live and work in the Council Rock community. Our deepest thanks goes to the many people who work or volunteer in Council Rock, who, regardless of their role, tirelessly advocate for students and maintain a priority of students first always. We are thankful for your commitment to serving students and grateful that your support encompasses each and every student completely. On a personal note, I extend to everyone in the Council Rock family, including our board members, students, staff, and their families, my very best wishes for a safe and healthy Thanksgiving holiday. I hope that our entire community, wide and far, can share some time with loved ones, make plenty of cherished memories, and travel safely. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Last week, our schools recognized Veterans Day with observances that highlighted the service of the men and women who protect our everyday freedoms. Servicemen and women were guests at the many observances held last week throughout the district, much to the delight of their children, grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and friends in the audience. On behalf of Council Rock, deep appreciation and gratitude is extended to all service members nationwide and in our community, active and retired, for their dedication to our country. Thank you. Earlier this week, we took time to recognize the member of our staff who form the backbone of Council Rock for the support they provide throughout the district. Our education support professionals are busy in every building and in every facility and touch every aspect of Council Rock operations. They are an integral part of the classroom success of our students and essential to the operation of our facilities, our offices, our finances, and our programming. Simply put, our education support professionals help to keep the engine of Council Rock running smoothly. We are thankful for their work and commend their contributions during this National Education Support Professionals Week. Tonight, we recognize 4 departing school board members who have dedicated much of their time and energy over the last years to the betterment of our district. Ms. Marianne McKee, Dr. Steve Nomos, Mr. Ed Salomon, and Dr. Michael Thorward. Each of these individuals have given much more to Council Rock than most will ever know. Being a school board member is a time and energy commitment that knows no schedule, but is always ready to support students. In a few weeks, we will welcome several new members of the school board and continue Council Rock's responsibility to deliver educational excellence to our students. But your service will always be part of the story of the Council Rock School District, and the impact of your leadership and guidance will reach far into the future. On behalf of the entire Council Rock School community, thank you for your dedication, hard work, and support. Each of you demonstrated a clear commitment to keeping students first always, and for that, our administration, our staff, and especially our students are deeply grateful. At each of your seats, we have a memento of your service for you to take with you with our very best wishes. Thank you. Throughout the year, we pause to recognize the scholastic accomplishments of Council Rock students. Tonight, we will introduce academic scholars from Council Rock High School South who have earned the distinction of being recognized by the National Merit Scholar Program. By way of background, the National Merit Scholarship Program acknowledges academically talented students by providing scholarships that shine a spotlight on exceptional performance and encourage the pursuit of academic excellence at all levels of education. Mr. Raddick, would you like to introduce each of our Council Rock South's National Merit Scholar commended students to the group here and our community watching at home? Mr. Solomon, would you please join me and Mr. Raddick at the podium at this time?
Thank you. It is my pleasure to present our National Merit Scholars this evening. Each year, approximately 1.5 million students enter the National Merit Scholarship Program by taking the PSAT qualifying test. The students being recognized this evening have placed in the top 2% of all scores. These commended students have demonstrated outstanding potential for success, as well as playing key roles in the academic standing of Council Rock South High School. I present to you Council Rock South's commended students in alphabetical order. Sharon M. Alex. Mary Grace Kiker. Valerie Krasnopolsky. Sean C. Morgan. Harini Prabhakar. Julia O. Rhodes. Julia was not able to be with us tonight. Abigail E. Rosengarten. Student you've seen already tonight. Isabella Thomas. And Winston E. Wong.
Parents, come on up and get pictures.
Congratulations again, Council Rock South Scholars. Parent-teacher conferences are around the corner. This is a reminder to parents and families that Monday, November 21st and Tuesday, November 22nd are early dismissal days for students in grades K through 8 and AM kindergarten attending on Tuesday, November 22nd. School is closed for all students in grades K to 12 beginning Wednesday, November 23rd through Friday, November 25th for the Thanksgiving holiday. As you likely know, parent-teacher conferences typically occur on the days prior to the Thanksgiving break. These conferences are invaluable to both parents and teachers to gain insight into your child's academic and social growth during the school year. Report cards will be available on the Home Access Center tomorrow, November 17th, making next week an opportune time to discuss your questions or concerns with the teachers. Most importantly, meetings with parents and teachers send a strong message to students that their education is important to the adults in their lives. As we mentioned at the start of the school year, a strong homeschool relationship yields dividends for students that extend far beyond the classroom. So please take this opportunity to meet with your child's teacher. If you need help scheduling a conference, please contact your child's teacher or school principal directly. In the digital age we live in now, we are all aware of the adverse effects caused by misinformation and harmful content that is posted, shared, and viewed on social media. Being alert and informed on the hidden dangers of social media can make a difference in keeping it from infiltrating into our children's lives and privacy. To that end, Council Rock has invited the Bucks County District Attorney's Office to host a social media education program at Newtown Middle School on Wednesday, November 29th at 6 p.m. Information about this event is posted on our website and is included in our weekly newsletter. Following the District Attorney Office's presentation, the Council Rock Coalition for a Healthy Youth will present the film Screenagers that gives tips and suggestions for improved adolescent well-being in the digital age. This program will inform you on ways to help children stay safe when interacting on social media and educate all users on making informed choices. Again, this event is free, it's open to the public, and it's scheduled for Wednesday, November 29th at 6 p.m. at Newtown Middle School. It will be held in the auditorium. Some important upcoming dates. Tomorrow, Friday, November 17th, report cards will be available on Hack. Monday, November 20th, is an early dismissal for students in grades K through 8. It's a regular schedule for high school students in grades 9 to 12. Parent-teacher conferences begin, and PM kindergarten attends. Tuesday, November 21st, is an early dismissal for students in grades K through 8. AM kindergarten attends, and it's a regular school day for students in high school, grades 9 through 12. Wednesday, November 22nd, no school for students, and parent-teacher conferences will continue. Thursday, November 23rd, and Friday, November 24th, all schools and offices will be closed for the Thanksgiving holiday break. Wednesday, November 29th, the District Attorney's Office and Crunchy will present programs on social media education. Again, that will be 6 p.m. at Newtown Middle School. Thursday, December 7th, is a board reorganization meeting, followed by a special meeting of the school board. For your winter calendar, Friday, December 22nd, all schools and offices are closed for winter break. December 26th through 29, all schools are closed for winter break. Please note offices will be opened on December 26th, December 27th, and December 28th, and schools reopen Monday, January 2nd, 2024 for all students. This is a reminder that the most accurate and trustworthy information regarding our district is found on resources, websites, and social media platforms maintained by the Council Rock School District. As with this and all information regarding Council Rock, we advise the community to be cautious about the accuracy of information posted on social media platforms. District-maintained sources and platforms are your best source of correct and reliable school district information. This concludes the superintendent's report.
Thank you, Dr. Sanko. From there, we'll go to letter G, solicitor report. Good evening, Mr. Cox.
Good evening, Mr. Solomon. I don't have anything to report tonight by way of executive session. I circulated a comprehensive report to the board earlier in the week. I would just like to say, Dr. Thorwart, Ms. McKee, Dr. Nomos, Mr. Solomon, it has been a privilege to represent each of you as members of this board. I wish you luck. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Cox. From there, we'll go to public, the first set of public comment. I only have one up on a signed in. It's Mr. Bobadilla. That's for a non-agenda item, sir, correct? All right, it'll wait till the second half. Thank you. From there, we'll go to letter I, approval of the minutes of the meeting of the board from October. Dr. Thorwart, would you mind, sir?
Got it. I move to approve the minutes of the meeting of the school board directors held on October 19th, 2023.
The second, was that Mr. Hickey? Second, Mr. Hickey. Any further comments from the board? Any objections from the board? Hearing none, I'll ask the secretary to mark that unanimous, please. From there, we'll go down to the Education Committee. Mrs. McKee, good evening.
Good evening, and thank you, Mr. Selman. The Education Committee met on October 26th. Our first three agenda items involved a curriculum review process, instructional coaching, and a multi-tiered system for support. Should be noted those 3 topics are all tied to our district comprehensive plan. Additionally, we looked at proposed course changes for the high school. There was interesting discussion presentation on a Council Rock AI artificial intelligence study team. Following that, we looked through and had a presentation on Keystone exams. Next was presented to us policy 137.2. This involves participation in co-curricular activities and academic courses by home education students. This is a revision to Act 55. Finally, we looked at the practices and procedures for students requesting to leave the classroom, which is resulting in an administrative regulation number 246.1. As that concludes my report, I move to approve consent agenda items B through G as contained in the attachments to this agenda.
Second.
Oh, second, Mr. Tate. Any comment from the board? B through G? Any objections? Hearing none, I'll ask the secretary to mark that as well. Ms. McKay, please continue.
Thank you. I failed to mention our next committee meeting will be on Thursday, November 30th.
Letter H.
Thank you.
Sure.
I move to approve consent agenda.
That was supposed to be part of the consent agenda. We have to change the motion.
Mr. Cox.
The motion that's on the agenda will work just fine for H.
I move to accept the recommendation.
Yeah, yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry, Ms. McKee.
Yep. Thank you for that clarification. I move to accept the recommendation of the administration related to a student disciplinary matter.
Second.
Second, Dr. Thorwart. Any comments from the board? Any objections from the board? Hearing none, I'll ask the secretary to mark that unanimous as well. From there, we'll move to letter I, Bucks County Intermediate Unit. Good evening, Mrs. Pally.
Solomon, the Bucks IU board meeting is scheduled for next Tuesday, so I don't really have an update, but I reached out to Dr. Hoffman, the executive director, to see if there is something he would like me to report on, and he did. So since the IU meeting will be hosted at the Bucks IU Samuel Everett School in Levittown, he asked me to mention that and highlight the great things that happen there every day. And here are some highlights. At the Samuel Everett School, the Bucks IU serves students from kindergarten through age 22 in a variety of programs designed to meet the needs of our learners. The IU began serving students at Samuel Everett in 2015, and they had 42 students, and today there are more than 140. The IU offers the following types of specialized programs there: autistic support, intensive autistic support, intensive emotional support, multiple disability support, partial hospitalization primarily for mental health and emotional support services, and post-secondary life skills support for students ages 18 to 22. These programs would not be possible without the expertise and talents of the amazing IU staff members, including advanced registered behavior technicians, board-certified behavior analysts, job coaches, mental health technicians, mental health therapists, occupational therapists, paraprofessionals, physical therapists, school administrators, school counselors, school psychologists, social workers, special education teachers, and speech-language pathologists. So the dedicated and collaborative IU team at Samuel Everett combines their expertise to create a nurturing and inclusive environment where every student can learn, flourish, and contribute. So as you can see, it really takes a village to provide these specialized services. There is no meeting for the IU board in December, and the next one is scheduled for January 16th, 2024. And this concludes my report.
Great, thank you, ma'am. From there, we'll go down to letter J, MBIT. Mr. Hickey, The students do a great job. I don't know if you can top what they do.
I can't, and my apologies for repeating some of the things
Please, go ahead, though.
that Ms. Marciak might have mentioned. We had our executive council on October 13th. Once again, I'll remind everybody that we have an open house on December 6th from 6 to 8 p.m. The MBIT podcast that I mentioned at our last meeting is now live. In addition, we signed some articulation agreements with Bucks County Community College and Del Valle University. Similar to Council Rock, the high schools here, the articulation agreements are where students have an opportunity to earn college credits by completing selected coursework there at MBIT. Speaking of college, one of the things that was initiated at MBIT is something called the Hard Hat Challenge, where students will earn decals to put on their hard hats for achievements that they've made either in the classroom with their hands or for professionally in some of the things they've done. November is the fundraising month for MBIT. Among the events less mentioned were the Codes for Kids. The annual cosmetology fundraiser was held on November 13th, and they also have their annual food drive. One important item of note is beginning next year, our Committee of the Whole and Executive Council meetings are changing their meeting dates. The Committee of the Whole, which is similar to our committee meetings, will be held on the fourth Monday of the month, and our Executive Council meetings will meet on the first Tuesday. Our next meeting is tentatively scheduled for December 11th, and that concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Hickey. From there, we'll go to CREF, letter K, Mr. Tate.
Thank you, Mr. Solomon. First of all, we would want to remind and encourage our educators to apply for an innovation grant. The application period is now open. We've gotten one so far, which is great because it closes in February, so that was an early application. We are in the process of making some grants in action visits to schools to see programs that are funded by the CREF Innovation Grants, and those are open to any board members. If you're interested, please let me know, and I can get you on the invitations for those. They're a terrific opportunity to see the grants in action. Secondly, on Giving Tuesday, which you may know is the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, please keep an eye on CREF social media, and there'll be some giving opportunities. Also, speaking of the holidays, teacher recognition gifts are a great holiday gift, and you can learn more about those on the CREF website and CREF social media. The golf outing set a record. I think I mentioned that last time, but we've gotten the final numbers, and it was a record-breaking year with wonderful support from the community and our sponsors. So the golf outing continues to be a very successful fundraiser. And lastly, CREF is in the process of planning and will announce very shortly a new signature event. And so again, just keep an eye on CREF's social media and the website. Thank you.
Thank you. From there, we'll go down to Policy Committee. Dr. Thorpe, please.
Thanks. These policies were covered in other committee meetings, and Mrs. McKee already addressed them. So I move to approve consent agenda items B through C as contained to the attachment to this agenda.
Second.
Second, Mrs. McKay. Is there any further comment from the board? Anything from the administration that you have to add? Okay. Hearing none, no objections. I'll ask the secretary to mark that unanimous as well. From there, we'll move down to finance. Welcome back, Mrs. Polly.
Hello again. So the last Finance and Facilities meeting was Thursday, November 9th, and we had two presentations. The first was from Cornerstone, giving us an update on our cash management position. And due to the expert management of our funds, the district made over $1 million in fund income at the last quarter. And I want to thank Mr. Rabb for that. The second presentation was from PFM Capital Financing. They gave us an update on our multi-year financing plan for our capital projects. Mr. Rabb presented a 5-year projection of revenues and expenditures, and I know that specific slide has been circulating in social media. And I just want to say that this is a first approach and it does not reflect our budget for the next year. In the coming months, the board will work intensely along with the administration to create a budget that will best serve our students. And although the deadline to adopt our final budget is in June, Mr. Rapp hopes to have it finalized in May. Thank you again, Mr. Rapp, for that. So as I think Dr. Sango mentioned, there will be a special session of the board after the reorganization meeting on December 7th. And at that meeting, the new board will be asked to vote on the Act 1 index. This is because we now have a deadline of January 4, 2024 to adopt a resolution indicating that real estate taxes in 2024-25 will not increase more than the Act 1 index, which is 5.3%. And I understand the administration will have a presentation on that subject for like the new board members. Finally, we do not plan to have a finance facilities meetings next month, so it's not going to be as heavy agenda next Thursday. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, and I think Mr. Tate will give the facilities update, right? Yeah.
Yes, very briefly. Thank you, Ms. Pally. The items on the consent agenda from the facilities side include a security improvement at Newtown Elementary School, the purchase of 2 Steinway grand pianos. They're gently used and they're very high quality instruments. The purchase will be financed in part, about 50%, by the Council Rock Education Foundation. We are looking at the summer projects and approving the design expenditure with Dewey Engineering. We're not approving any projects. Those will be done after bidding and will only be approved if the bids are suitable, of course. And the last thing I'll mention is approval of furniture for Saul Feinstone Elementary, and that's within the budget. So thank you.
So I move to approve consent agenda items B through M as contained in the attachments to this agenda.
Second. Second, Dr. Nomas. Is there any further comment from the board or any objections from the board? Mr. Roosevelt, please.
Yeah, regarding item J, the capital improvements plan, most of those projects have a fee percentage for Dewey at about 6%. There's one, the regrading of the fields, that's about 9%. I'm not sure if there's any explanation from that, from Dewey, on why one of these projects would be higher than the others, where likely there might not be any additional engineering requiring it. I realize we're not approving the project yet, it still has to be bid, but I don't know if any of that was indicated.
We can get an answer for that.
Anybody else from the board? Any objections from the board? Hearing none, I'll ask the secretary to mark that B through M unanimous, please. Mr. Tate, would you mind taking personal actions while you're there? Thank you.
All right, this is agenda item M. I move to approve the proposal. No. N. I move to approve the personnel actions as contained in the attachment to this agenda. Agenda item O. I move to approve the personnel actions addendum as contained in the attachment to this agenda.
You have a second, please?
Second.
Oh, Mr. Hickey, thank you. Any comment from the board? Any objections from the board on the personnel actions? Hearing that, I'll ask the secretary to mark that unanimous. One more, Mr. Tate, if you don't mind. Letter P.
Letter P, I move to approve the fee agreement as contained in the attachment to this agenda.
Have a second, please?
Second.
Dr. Thorwer, thank you. Any comments from the board? Any objections from the board? Hearing none, I'll ask the secretary to mark that unanimous as well. From there, we'll move down to the second set of public comment. We have one person signed up. I'll read the disclaimer. Public comment is an opportunity for members of the public to address the board. We would ask that you limit your comments to no longer than 3 minutes. Please consider the fact that there may be some young children in the audience or watching this broadcast live on CRTV when speaking. It is our goal to maintain a respectful environment so that the members of the community have an equal opportunity to address the board without interruption. While the board welcomes your ideas and will consider them in deliberating an issue, we may not respond to your comments or questions. First and only up is Mr. Bobadilla. Good evening, sir. Please, good to see you.
Good evening. Good evening, Dr. Sanko. Good evening. Thanks a lot for all your volunteer services that you have finally completed. And taxpayers, residents of Council Rock, seems that I always get, I'm the guy that speaks out. I don't know why everybody's afraid of the school board. They said, oh, well, what do you, they're all complaining. I said, well, listen, do you want me to get up and tell them what your problem is? Yes, I appreciate that. I said, okay, I will. And especially Dr. Sanko, he's easy to talk to. I don't know about all of you, but he's easy to talk to. And one thing I'd like to thank Don. He took over a security. He found a grant for hardening security in school, and I hope you find there's a lot of other grants. I spoke with a lot of politicians. You know, politics is local, so when you talk to some of these guys, they let you know about the grants. There's a lot of grants out there, and yes, there are deadlines. So don't lose the money, because if you lose the money, the taxpayers are going to have to be paying more. That's the one part. What I want to address is the dissatisfaction of the support staff, not professionals, but the support staff. I guess the kindergarten people, people in the lunchroom, bus monitors, and they were kind of dissatisfied with the past negotiations and how it went down. I guess the board, whoever made the decisions, stood on their neck and said, listen, you're getting a 25-cent raise if you like it or not, and then they increased their health and welfare. And they feel like they're getting disrespected. Everything is with professional support staff, and they're not hearing anything about it. So there's a lot of crying going on with that. Most of these people, what they're getting is like, they're not making a lot of money. They're like, we're working 2 jobs. I see some of them working in Walgreens. I see them working in all these different places. And to try to make up that $35,000, to try to even survive in Council Rock, which is a joke. It takes more than that. And I know they passed the thing about taxes for the $35,000. Nobody lives around here making only $35,000. So that's just smoke and mirrors, personally. You want to check the ASOP to give you an idea how hard these people work, and they're dedicated. They're not here for money, but I mean, they're here for some money. And they're hopefully for health and welfare, which seems to be going down each time with more corrections on the contribution. But there's a burnout rate. So if you look on ASOP and you check on Monday, where do you see what's going on ASOP on Monday? There's like 20, 30 jobs of TAs. You know, they're not making it in here. So if you want to make it easy for these people, maybe you should try to give them a little bit more money. I mean, I don't know how.
30 seconds, sir.
Oh, okay, thank you for that warning. I did spoke a doctor here, and we're going to meet. There's other things. It's the Teachers Society. I want to get in touch with him and let him know what we can do to try to avoid a lot of that. Thank you very much for your time.
As always, thank you, sir. Is anybody in the audience who wants to do public comment? You're not signed up? I'll give you an opportunity, please. Nobody jumping up. From there, we'll move down to new business on the board. Any new business on the board? Mr. Hickey, good evening again.
Good evening. I don't know whether this qualifies as new business or old business, but I'd like to address it anyway. Feels like a rare occasion when this will be the last meeting of almost half of this board. I would like to address the following the outgoing board members. To Dr. Nomos, I did not get to work with you for very long, but I would like to thank you for stepping up when there was a void to be filled with Kristen's departure. To Ms. McKee, outside of Council Rock, my guess is we would disagree on many things. However, inside of Council Rock, I would like to believe that we achieved common ground. It's about the kids. I would like to believe that we worked well together and we accomplished much. I respect you, your straightforwardness, and your honesty. Hopefully, I've earned your respect as well. When I see you in the future, I know I can seek you out and share a friendly conversation. I will miss my next-door neighbor at committee meetings. Thank you, and I wish you well. To Dr. Thorwart and Mr. Solomon, you were board leadership when I arrived, and although I am older than both of you, it was you who taught me the ropes along with Kristen. You helped me to become a better school board director. There is so much more to this job than meets the eye. For that, I thank you. In addition, when I arrived, we were just getting through the worst of the pandemic. The social, emotional, and educational damage to kids may never fully be healed. Yet, unfortunately, that's what happens when politicians enter the educational space. Under your leadership, Council Rock has begun to reverse these negative effects. Nights for Knowledge, curriculum review, and accountability on all levels are just 3 examples of pointing us in the right direction. There are many more that I could mention, but I don't want Joe kicking me under the table. You both have constantly stressed for every decision I make, how does this help kids? Please remind me if I ever fail in this regard. I don't know what the future holds for you, but you should be proud of the work you have done for this district. I am lucky to now to be able to call you friends. Thanks again.
Is there anybody else?
You asked me not to speak.
All right. Over the past nearly 8 years, I've had the great pleasure to work with some amazingly smart and dedicated school board directors. In fact, I got to see one of them this morning, my friend Wendy Thomas. Some of us know Wendy well, and she was a great school director. The other day, I spoke with Jerry Grupp and Kyle McKessie earlier in the week, and Andy Block recently, and then there was Rick Abramson, my predecessor, who served 4 terms. I mean, imagine that. That's 16 years. They were excellent board members, but not one of them was superior to Mary Ann McKee. Those of you who've attended or participated in our meetings over the past few years have seen Mary Ann in action. You know that she's extremely knowledgeable, confident, and passionate. Her voice of experience as a former teacher was absolutely invaluable to the board. And outside of this room, and this is extremely important, Mary Ann provided a great deal of wisdom and even-tempered guidance to those of us on the board. She has been a terrific example of how board members should conduct themselves. Mary Ann always placed a premium on collegiality and respect, and she responded admirably in challenging situations. I've learned a lot from Mary Ann. I talk with her regularly, and I often ask her for advice. I'll continue to do so because she's just a tremendous person, and I publicly wish Mary Ann and Ron the best in the years ahead.
Anybody else? Okay, from there we'll move to old business of the board. Any old business board? Nope. Can somebody give a motion to close the meeting, please?
So moved.
Good night.